You are watching T to the M to the IDD.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? T to the M to the IDD, back with another video. Today's video is sponsored by Luminar Neo. They have an awesome editing software that I have implemented into my editing process, and so I want to share that with you. Today we are going to be looking at 4 different lighting situations, and we are going to look at those lighting situations from 4 different camera brands. And when we look at those lighting situations, I'll explain the setup, take you behind the scenes, and also use Luminar Neo to edit each of those photos, highlighting some of the features that I love using in their software and something that helps make my editing process a lot more seamless. So let's go ahead and hop into the first lighting setup. Let's go. Here we have one of my favorite lighting setups, which is a one light setup. I'm using the Godox AD300 Pro without any light modifier because the light was extremely harsh on this day, and I wanted to match the aesthetic by going bare bulb. Now what you'll also notice is that I'm composing this shot and shooting into the trees. There's a few houses back there, just so we can get some depth. I'm shooting this at f1.4, so I want to get some nice bokeh. Also, the sun was high in the sky, so I am complementing the shot by knowing that I'm having her face in the shadows and using the Godox AD300 Pro just to bring that out a little bit. So let's go ahead and take this shot and get right into Luminar Neo. Okay, so we have our first image. What I'm going to do, go to this edit tab and I'm going to go to develop. I'm going to go to my camera matching settings, and I'm going to go to flat. I'm going to pick the flat profile because I could bring everything back just how I like it. So I'm going to bump up that contrast. It's a little hot, so I'm going to bring my highlights down just a bit. I'm going to go to my blacks and whites, and that's going to bring some definition back. So I'm going to crush my blacks just a little bit. I love color, so I'm going to go into the color tab and I'm going to increase my vibrance. Love to make those color pops, and actually right here I am pretty happy with the image. Her skin is pretty good, but I'm going to go to the skin and I'm just going to introduce a little bit of smoothness, and maybe about 10 is good. I'm happy with that. Okay, now one of the things that I'm really disliking in this image is the sky, and that's because of the power lines. I could remove the power lines, but even more so, I want a little more dynamic look. So I want a little bit of clouds in the background. So we're going to add some clouds. Clicking on this cloud profile, that was not good enough for me. Let's go. I love this right here. So we're going to refine this just a bit, defocus it because this was shot at f1.4. We're going to add a little bit of warmth to the image and also brighten it up. We're going to go to some relighting strength, which actually enhances the lighting in the photo. And right here, I'm actually loving this. I'll do one more thing, and that is go back to the develop tab, and we're going to go to the lighting, add a little more contrast, and I'm happy with that. Let's talk about this next setup, which is completely dynamic because it involves using off-camera flash and LED lights. Now, I just simply wanted a clean image with this nice outfit, and I wanted a pure white backdrop. So I used a 3-light setup. The main key light was a Godox V1 and a 34-inch beauty dish, and then I had 2 LED lights placed on the backdrop so that we could get a pure white backdrop. Now those are 60-watt LED lights with 35 by 9 strip boxes to even the light that is hitting the backdrop. Okay, now we have our image in Luminar. First thing, we're going to go to our develop tab and set our preset to camera standard for the Sony A7R5. We're going to give a little bit of temperature, add a little bit of tint, and you all know that I love my color. So we're going to go to the vibrance and we're going to bump up that vibrance. Now I want to add a little additional tint only to the model. So we can go back to develop, we're gonna go to mask, and they have this awesome feature which is AI mask, and it will allow me to adjust things but only to the human. So we're gonna let it do its thing, and once it's finished I'm gonna click human, go back, and I'm going to go to adjustments, and I'm just going to add slight additional tint to the model, and it will only affect the model. Once I'm finished there, I'm actually going to go down to skin AI, and I'm going to boost that up just to soften the skin just a little bit, and about 25 is good for me. Go back to development and go to light. I'm going to add some smart contrast. I'm happy with that. And while we are at it, I'm going to go up to crop AI, put that nice Instagram 4x5 crop. And I am liking how this is looking. The colors are looking good, and I'm going to apply that just to get a little more creative. We're going to go into the creative tab, go to glow. We're going to boost that up to about 7. I'm liking that. Going to go down to color harmony and increase the brilliance and drop down the warmth. And I am loving that. The last thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to the clone, and for the sake of this video, I'm going to do it pretty quickly, but you see we got some things we need to clean up here, right? So we're going to clean up, okay? I'm happy with that. A little more cleaning, okay? And then the last thing, we're going to go to our erase tool. I see we have some marks on the arm, and we are just going to clean those up. We're going to hit erase, and it did a wonderful job, and I'm happy with that. This next BTS is totally natural light. So this is another lighting situation, and it is actually heavily backlit. I was testing out the dynamic range with the Fuji GFX 100S, so I intentionally underexposed this image. So let's go ahead, hop into Luminar Neo and see what we could do with this in this software. As always, I'll start at the develop tab. Now when we go to click our preset, you will notice there's nothing there. So sometimes this software does not have the camera profile for your camera, and you can go onto Adobe. I'll leave a link in the description to get the profile if you do not see it here. For now, we're going to go with the Luminar default, and we're going to bring the image back right here. So here it is heavily underexposed, so we're going to bring those shadows back up, and I'm going to go to 75 on this just to get the detail. I'm going to take my contrast to 16, and then I'm going to go to my color, and we're going to go to the temperature. We're going to warm this up quite a bit, okay? And then we're going to take the tint to about 7. I like that. And then let's go to the blacks, and we're going to bring those blacks down to about -7. Saturation, we're going to go to 10, and the vibrance, we're going to go to 10 as well. Now, one of the features that I really like to highlight here is the relight. So let's go ahead, go to relight, and we're going to go to near, and I really want to pop her out. So we're going to take that to 50. All right, we're going to go to the near temperature, and we're going to bring that to 4. Far, just to add some to the background, we're going to pop that up to about 12. So you still get to bring the subject out, and that's what I really love about the relight feature. Also, I feel like the face is still a bit underexposed, so we're going to go to the face, and we're going to pop the face out even more with this. So we're going to take it to about 25, and I actually like that. Going to go to glow, get a little more creative with that. So we're going to go to 25 here, and we're gonna go to selection and actually click glow there, and I actually like that. And actually, to finish this up a little bit more, let's go to the skin, and we're gonna go to 23 and just add a little bit of grain, something different for this image. So we're gonna go to about 10. The last thing that we have to do is we have to get rid of this pole right here that's sticking out. So we're just going to select that, and then we're going to press erase, and once we do that, we are good to go. With this image, we have natural light again, but it is a little bit different. This is more of an evenly lit photo, a little flat because of the mountains behind the subject covering everything in shadow. And so since we have a more even playing field from the foreground to the subject to the background, it's going to make it more interesting. And so in editing, this is where you truly have to make your image pop. And so let's go ahead and take this image into Luminar Neo. Okay, we are back in Luminar Neo, and like always, we're going to go over to our develop tab, and for the Canon 5D Mark IV, we're going to go to the color profiles, and for me, the portrait profile pops instantly, almost giving me what I need. So what I'm gonna do is some minor adjustments, 0.07 on the exposure, and on the contrast we're going to go to about 12. And then interestingly enough, we have some sky in the background, so I'm going to take my highlights all the way to -100. Don't worry, we will fix that as we come up. So now we're going to go to the color tab, and we're going to warm this image up right about there. That should do. The tint we're going to take up to about 8 or 9. Okay, that works for me. Vibrance we're going to go to about 6. Okay, now in the optics, let's go down and correct everything that we need. Okay, we want this image to be correct. Now we're going to go down to skin AI, and of course we want some skin smoothness. Help this out with the image on the skin and take advantage of the technology that we have. Now we're going to go same thing for the face AI, and we're going to bump up that light inside of the face to about a 12. Now we're going to go back and use an enhancing feature that they have in the software, and this takes advantage of the artificial intelligence built in. It will analyze the image and enhance the image accordingly. So now we're going to go to the color tab, and I really want to pop the saturation in this, so we're going to go -10 because it's a bit much on the dress. The orange we're going to pop to about 20. Yellow, let's take that to about 16. I'm happy there. Green, let's go to about 20, 21, and the blue we're going to take it to about 18. Okay, I am good there. Now let's dive into the landscape. We have some things in the background, so let's take golden hour, play with that, go to about 14. The foliage, because we do have some foliage in the background, so let's take that to about 17. Okay, we're going to go into relight AI as well, and so for the near we're going to take that to about 14, and for the far we actually are going to take that to about 17. Let's well, actually let's go to about -6, because we actually want to have our subject stand out, and we're going to warm it up ever so slightly. Okay, we are good there. Now once we do that, we have a few more things that we want to do. Portrait bokeh. Okay, I really want to get some separation, so I'm going to take advantage of this, and I'm going to pop it up to about 35. I am good right there. And the last thing that we are going to do is go back to develop. We're going to do a mask, take advantage of the AI mask, select human, go back to adjustments, and we're going to do a 6 on the tint, and we are happy right there. And there you have it, my workflow using Luminar Neo, utilizing the artificial intelligence capabilities in order to expedite my editing workflow whenever I do portrait photography. So if you found this helpful, insightful, please leave a comment below, like, and share this video. Until the next one, peace.